Arsenal have just gone out there and absolutely destroyed Crystal Palace. Not for the first time this week, but for the second. And do you know what makes that win even better? Looking from the outside in as a rival fan, I want the title race to be as interesting as possible. And Arsenal have gone out there and won, knowing the fact that Chelsea and Liverpool both play tomorrow, and the fact that Manchester City lost away. I don't think they're in a title race anymore. But it's a 5-star performance from Arsenal. Saka went off injured early. Rice scores. Martinelli scores. Gabriel Jesus scores a brace. And Kai Havertz scores his 6th Premier League goal of the season. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you go down, hit that subscribe button. We are steamrolling our way towards 40,000 subscribers. And make sure you drop a like. If we can hit 200 likes, that would be absolutely glorious. Let me know your thoughts on the game. Arsenal have beaten Crystal Palace 5-1 away from home. And it was a lineup that had Kai Havertz, Odegaard, and Thomas Partey in midfield. Declan Rice dropped to the bench. The same Arsenal side that beat Crystal Palace 3-2 in the cup. A number of changes come in. Myles Lewis-Skelly. What a player this kid is. 18 years of age, and the faith from Arteta to keep him in the starting 11. Gabriel and Saliba. I thought Saliba was a little bit shaky today, I'm not going to lie. I thought Gabriel was good. I thought Timber was good. Partey, that guy should be a Dyson Hoover. The amount of stuff he sweeps up and hoovers up. Odegaard, really good today. Kai Havertz, of course, scored. Martinelli gets his first goal in a long, long time. And Gabriel Jesus, and Jesus could have had a hat-trick as well. Of course, Bukayo Saka went off injured. But it was the perfect start from Arsenal. Gabriel Jesus makes it 1-0 inside, 5, 6, 7 minutes, something like that. The perfect start to take the pressure off of Arsenal, knowing the fact that they both play tomorrow, Arsenal and Chelsea. And he does it again. That's a hat-trick against Palace midweek, and he scores again today. And this is a player that hadn't scored, I think, this calendar year. And all of a sudden, bang, 5 goals in 2 games in quick succession. Saka's cross goes right into the middle of Odegaard, and I think it was Richards, the fullback, and it just kind of goes into Jesus' path, and he just side foots it into the back of the net. It was a good finish from close range. Fair play to Crystal Palace because they equalised very, very quickly afterwards. And I thought Arteta would be a huge headache for Gabriel and Saliba, and to be fair, they dealt with him pretty well. Gabriel, was beating him in the air, but he's a lump up front. He's as strong as an ox. He wins his duels normally. He's got a bit of pace about him. And I thought that would be an interesting battle. But the actual goal come from Sarr. A great ball down from Mitchell. Sarr kind of opens his body up, coming in from the left-hand side and kind of finesses it, side foots it into the back of the net, into the corner. David Raya got absolutely no chance. And fair play to Crystal Palace because they showed, character to go 1-0 down so early and come back. But the ultimate mentality from Arsenal is, and commentators say this all the time, that you are most vulnerable when you've just scored. And very, very shortly after, Crystal Palace made it 1-1. Gabriel Jesus with an absolutely ridiculous finish. And that is a player that is confident right now. And I don't think Arsenal can drop him. I'm not sure who they've got next. I think it's Ipswich next Friday, I believe. I don't think you can drop him in the form he's in. Yes, he hasn't scored in a while, but he takes that before the Crystal Palace game midweek. He takes that strike with complete confidence, finesses it, top bins. Dean Henderson got more chance getting a hand on the sun. And Arsenal were cruising from then on in. I didn't feel like Crystal Palace really had that many clear-cut chances. I know they had a lot of shots, but I'm talking about clear one-on-ones. And this is the Crystal Palace side. They don't look the same without Eberechi Eze. He makes them tick. His final balls in the final third normally are on the money. His movement, the ability that Eze's got to take on a few players as well, in the combinations with the 1-2s. I feel like Crystal Palace with Kamada in there, I don't think they're the same Palace side. And you saw that with the stats that I think without him, I don't think they've won a Premier League game yet. And with him, I think they've got 14 Premier League points this season or something like that. So, fair play to Arsenal for, nullifying Crystal Palace's weaknesses and not getting Kamada, giving him too much space. And then there was the bit of where Arsenal fans' heads dropped, where Saka did go off injured, and he got the injury from putting a ball into the box, and it looked like it was a hamstring injury. Now, if it is a hamstring injury, that is going to be a couple of weeks minimum. That's going to be, because you don't get over a hamstring injury, even if it's just a slight little knock. I think he misses the Ipswich game, which you would hope, looking at the Arsenal squad, that they've got more than enough in there to go and beat Ipswich, who got pumped today by Newcastle. So that was the only kind of bit from Arsenal looking in where their heads kind of dropped. Leandro Trossard come on. He was causing problems. And then it was kind of game over. I think it was a ball into the box. I think it was Martinelli that put it in. Jesus nearly got back-to-back hat-tricks, headed it onto the post. I think that was that goal. And then Havertz tapped in from close range. And that will give him a huge bit of confidence, because he hasn't scored in a while. And Arsenal deserved the lead, 3-1 at half-time. Now, in the second half, Jamie Carragher said it a number of times on commentary, and I was thinking the same thing. This game is crying out for Declan Rice to get in, just to give Arsenal a bit more control, to kind of help Partey in the deeper positions. And he's great at carrying the ball up as an advanced state. And fair play to Arteta, because he did the right thing. He took off Myles Lewis-Skelly, who, fair play to him. He was absolutely phenomenal today. At 18 years of age, he looks like he's going to be a top player. He took off Myles Lewis-Skelly and Kai Havertz for Declan Rice and Calafiori, and that changed the game in terms of it completely killed any potential comeback from Crystal Palace. And Declan Rice actually got the assist. It was a ball into the box, and Martinelli just stuck his leg out and made it 4-1. And Martinelli needed a goal. I don't remember the last time this guy scored. I think it might be against Shakhtar in the Champions League. And just to kind of gill the game off, just to any chance of a comeback, Declan Rice, Ricardo Calafiori plays it into him. He drops the shoulder and kind of whips it towards the, I think it was Henderson's left corner, bottom left corner. And Arsenal win 5-1. A really good performance. They will obviously be concerned, with the Saka injury. But they had to win today. They had to go out there and win convincingly. And they were due one of these sort of big away wins. I know they had a big away win in the Champions League, beating Sporting. Gabriel hit the crossbar from a header as well in the second half. But you look at the league table right now, and they are, absolutely putting the pressure on. And that is all you can ask for them. Liverpool have got a game in hand. They win that game in hand. They're still 6 points clear of Arsenal, and they'll be, 3 or 4 points clear of Chelsea. But all you can ask for Arsenal right now is to keep winning their games. They've got a relatively comfortable set of fixtures coming their way. They've got Ipswich. Tell a lie. I'm absolutely wrong on that. They have got a tough set of fixtures coming their way. Brighton away is not going to be easy, but they're falling off in the last couple of weeks. I expect them to beat Aston Villa, Manchester United. The North London derby form goes out the window, but if you're an Arsenal fan looking at that, obviously they'd be happy that the 3 tough games in that, they are playing back-to-back home games. Now, the one that I raise an eyebrow at in terms of, do Arsenal have what it takes, is that Brentford away game, New Year's Day, 2025, first game of 2025 for Arsenal, and they got a really tough game. But saying that, Nottingham Forest went to Brentford today and won 2-0. What a season Nottingham Forest are having, by the way. Absolutely phenomenal. But that's what? That's 5 away goals against West Ham, 5 away goals against Sporting, 5 away goals against Crystal Palace, 3-0 against Nottingham Forest, 2-0 against Man United, 3-0 against Monaco. It's an Arsenal team that have got plenty of goals. And, when Saka went off, they still scored a few goals. So I think they will be fine in the next couple of weeks. They've got more than enough quality to go out there and beat Ipswich and probably beat Brentford. It depends how long that Saka injury is. If it's a couple of weeks, then we'll have to wait and see. But if Gabriel Jesus and Martinelli can, try and pick up a bit more goal scoring form, that will take a lot of the, headache away from Mikel Arteta, because Bukayo Saka is the first name on the team sheet for them. You know, he's an absolutely world-class player. He's got nearly 100 goal contributions, I think, in the Premier League in such a short period of time. He's played left back for them. He's played, left wing at times. He's played right wing. That was the 11 that Arsenal played. In terms of their bench, they did actually have quite a lot of quality on there. Wanyeri obviously come on for a short little cameo again. Leandro Trossard, Mikel Merino, Declan Rice, of course, come on and scored. Kyrgios, I think, probably may play against Ipswich. Jorginho and Declan Rice obviously scored. But if you're an Arsenal fan, surely you're over the moon with that tonight. For me, looking in, I absolutely hate their guts and hope their title race completely falls apart. But, you know, that they are, at this moment in time, they're playing good football. You know, Jesus, what's that? 5 goals in 2 games. Odegaard, you know, back in with good performances. He has had a bit of a drop-off recently, but he made up for that midweek. 2 really good passes against Crystal Palace. For Crystal Palace, though, you know, it is, if you're looking at their form, it's slightly worrying times now. You know, they're only 4 points off the relegation zone. And I don't think they've won a game in their last, I tell a lie, they did actually beat Brighton and Ipswich, but it's been a very up and down season from Crystal Palace. They got a good manager in Oliver Glasner, but they 100% need Eberechi Eze back ASAP. He's what makes them tick in the final third. He's the one you look to when they need a goal. He's the one that can get on the ball and create. And I think they'll start. I don't think they're going to go down. I think they've got far too a squad with Mateta, Sarr, Eze, you know, Gahey in there. Mitchell is a good player as well. I think they'll be fine. But for Arsenal, you just got to keep winning games. Looking at it, if you want to stay in the title race, you just got to keep winning games. Keep putting the pressure on the 2 boys at the top. They're only within 1 point against Chelsea. And, of course, they've got a very tough game tomorrow at Goodison Park. And make sure you go down and drop a like. Make sure you have subscribed. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. I am out.